So I don't know how you came upon this video, but I just want to give you a quick word of encouragement because a lot of us don't understand the context of life, especially as God shows us certain reasons, certain causes, unless we see it through a story, a parable as Jesus had taught, or just some other life circumstance. And one of the things that I realized the other day was that I'm very close to healing a finger injury that I had for a long time. So if you can see here, I have all these nails. But this particular nail, I already clipped it off a little bit, but compared to these other nails, there was like a bruise and just a very big sort of indentation I had in my finger from a long time ago. And this was probably like 4 or 5 months ago where I jammed my finger, okay? So I was closing a door and then the door as it was closing, jammed against my finger. And I remember that day because I had just barely missed the skin, but it just hit only the nail. But it hurt it hurt a lot, but it didn't really hurt that much, if that makes sense, because of the guard of this nail. Now it bruised. Immediately it bruised, and the next day, and it was purple. It swelled up a little bit, but it subsided. And for the next month, I had just had this big white scar, and it's longer than this, but it went down here, and it was purple. And so I looked at it, and in the first day, I looked at it and I said, you know what? I've experienced something similar to this prior. And I know that this nail grows. It grows over the course of, I don't know, a couple months, 2, 3, 4 months. And it's going to take a while for it to visibly be removed. I can't just, take off the entire nail and hope the next day that a new nail comes. It doesn't work like that. It just grows out, just like your hair grows, just like your skin cells come off and grow and just repair. There's a season and a time that it takes for it to come to its completion. And so as I was looking at that, I thought, you know what, I'll just let it be and I'll just let it go. I'll heal and the nail will grow itself out. And so now as I have come to look at it again, I'm near the end of its cycle, where in another week or two, once these other nails get long, I'm going to clip it off, and subsequently I will probably clip off the rest of this nail. And so what you've got to understand about your life and how God works is that there's a set season of a healing process, of a restoration process, of a growth process, of a training process. And when you are deeply healed and rejuvenated and just gutted from the inside out, it's not going to be an overnight thing. It's not going to be, in some sense, a miracle where traditionally we think, a miracle is just going to happen in a couple seconds. It's not like that oftentimes. What really happens is that God intentionally allows that season of 2, 3 months or longer for the healing, that whole thing to manifest and to have its completion. And if we don't have that, we're not going to see its full, holistic process to its full glory that God had originally intended. So you've got to understand that from your perspective of whatever situation you are going through in life. Embrace the fact that, I'm content with it being 3, 4 months. I'm content with this being, obviously I got hurt. I can't do anything about it. But from that hurt, I know there's an end. I know that it will be removed. And just like with this nail, it will be completely gone and it will be replaced with something completely better and new, stronger, and it will be like new, like it was before. And so you've got to understand that and embrace it and accept that. And during that process, what God does is he allows you to just put it to the side in some sense. As you're going through this whole journey, God, he may not want you to fixate your eyes and be concerned and worried and preoccupied with that whole thing. I'm not going to look at my finger all day, every day and think, it's, I can't believe what happened 2 months ago or 3 months ago. I can't believe I did that. I'm regretting it. I just can't get my mind off of it. I'm not sitting there doing that all day, every day. I'm just letting it go, going about my life, doing new things, embracing the life that God has before me and just living it to the fullest for the glory of God. And so if you're sitting there and you are preoccupied, you're divided, you're anxious, you're worried, just let it go. Let it go and let God work in your life, because it's going to take some time. You can pray for it to be done quickly, but oftentimes he'll give you revelation to say, you know what, this injury it will take 4 months to come to completion. So just embrace it and allow it to happen, because God has a plan in those 4 months. And instead, what you can do is you can learn from it. I tell myself, you know what? I'm going to be a little bit more cautious and not clumsy when I'm closing a door, right? And again, it's a once in a blue moon situation, but nevertheless, we grow and we change from it. And as you're doing it for yourself, whatever the situation may be in your life, embrace it and allow God to work and just move forward. Know that it's a time period, but at the end of it, you'll be new, you'll be renewed, and you got more things to look forward to. God has a plan for your life, but there are seasons, there are timetables, there are time frames for which you need to embrace and say, God, you're working and I trust you. I love you and I give it all up to you. Be blessed, be encouraged, guys. If you guys want to support me, I do have links down below. You guys can give a prayer request or support me financially as I am opening this next chapter in my life here on mission in Korea. So love you guys. Talk to you guys very soon.